and welcome to Market Fatafat with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is my co-anchor Vinny Motiwala. Hello to you, Vinny. Well, this is the show where we take you through all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. But first up, let's quickly take a market check, Vinny. The Nifty has recovered a fair bit from the day's lows. It is holding on pretty strongly to the 19,300 levels right now.
Absolutely, that is the worry, because what had happened, it did dip below that mark today. It went in the red as well. And now look at the recovery that we have seen coming in the Nifty as well. As of now, 0.4% of gains, what we're seeing coming in for the Nifty. And like you can see on your screens, trading almost near the day's highest point. So comfortably above that 19,300 levels as of now. Sensex 2 trading with gains of around 0.4% on trade. Let's look at what the Bank Nifty is doing as well. That also is holding on to gains, trading at the day's highest point, 0.6% in trade gains in trade as well. Mid-cap, small-cap space too, performing in tandem with the benchmark indices. Mid-cap up 0.6%. Smaller cap, that's the small cap, Nifty small cap, that's trading with better gains than the benchmark indices. 0.8% in gains in trade over there as well. Nifty IT, what is that doing, and has that seen a recovery is one we should watch out for, because that was one sector that was trading in the red. As of now, also trading in the red, but recovered nonetheless from the day's lowest point. So yes, very interesting in terms of the market setup. We are going to be watching out for the Reliance AGM. What is going to be happening and what are the takeaways that are going to be coming out from that is something that one should watch out for in trade. But as of now, markets seem to have recovered from the day's lowest point, holding on to decent gains, at least as of now. But on that note, let's get started with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade, either on the back of news flows or on the back of technicals as well. And on the technicals, we'll be joined by Sameet Chavan, while from the research team, today we are joined by Lisa as well as Harsh as well. A very good afternoon to all three of you all. Good afternoon to you as well, Lisa. And Sameet, let's start with your first stock. IndiaBulls Housing Finance is the stock that you've picked out for us. Obviously, we've seen a lot of momentum coming in the stock on Friday as well. Today, how is it looking like, and what are the charts indicating now for IndiaBulls Housing?
Good afternoon. See, after a long, slumber phase, underperformance, this stock has finally managed to, show some early signs of revival. So if you see in last, month and a half, this stock has been buzzing. If you look at the volume activity, it has been, the stock has been moving on sizable volumes, and there has been no stopping. Recently, we saw a good vertical rally followed by some consolidation, and again in last couple of days, it has resumed its upward trend. So overall, considering the price and volume activity, it seems that the stock is likely to head towards 200 mark. It looks quite optimistic at current level. Any depth from current level probably towards 175, 170 would make it a good risk to reward candidate. But overall, if you see, the stock is poised for 200 first, and then will not be surprised to see even this stock heading towards 225 in probably next couple of months time. So overall, the bias remains positive, and as long as this stock maintains its important support cluster of 160, 155 on a closing basis, any dip is likely to get bought into.
Alright, moving on then. The next stock in focus is Geo Financials. Now, this stock has been in focus since last week, since the time it listed. And of course, it has been locked in the lower circuit, except for the Friday breather that came in. But for now, the news is that Motilal Oswal Mutual Fund has picked up 3.72 crore shares, or 0.5% stake in Geo Financials via open market transaction at an average price of rupees 202.8 rupees per share. And that's the news that's keeping the stock abuzz, and it is up more than 2.4% in trade right now. But a quick check on the index treatment, if the stock hits a circuit at any point of time for 2 consecutive sessions, then the removal will be deferred. So far, it has been deferred twice, and if the stock does not hit a lower circuit for the 2 consecutive sessions from August 29th to August 31st, then it will not be a part of the indices on 1st of September. Geo Financials will, however, continue to be a part of MSCI and the FTSE Index, and as of now, it is up 2.4% in trade.
Move on to stock number 3, and that one is BHEL. This one is in focus on the back of an order win. Let's not forget, BHEL, the stock has actually snapped its 3-day losing streak. Today it gained as much as 3%. As of now, also is holding on to 3.5% of gains, and this is on the back of an order win of around 2,241 crores. That is an order from NHPC. Now, the order actually pertains to an electromechanic all work of the Dibang multi-purpose project located in Roing, and this is in Arunachal Pradesh. And overall, when you look at it in terms of it, the project also has a scope and encompasses a lot of things in terms of designing, engineering, manufacturing, supply, erection, commissioning of the electromechanical package. And on the back of this order win, 2,241 crore order win, we're seeing today BHEL is buzzing in trade, as of now holding on to gains of 3.6% in trade.
All right, we'll move on then. The next counter in focus is Indus Towers. Sameet, tell us, this counter hasn't really done much in the last 6 months. It has been pretty flat. What are the charts reading about this counter?
See, if you see, this stock has, went into a consolidation mode of late. It seems that the price-wise correction halted around 157, 160, where we can see multiple support zone. In last 3-4 days, yes, stock has reversed a bit, and today, if you see, this stock managed to surpass important hurdle, 200-day simple moving average as well as 20-day exponential moving average. It has managed to traverse those important levels, with an ease. So if you look at it, from the volume perspective, in last couple of days, we saw overall volume activity surging a bit. So we expect this stock probably retesting its recent swing highs, which is around 180, 184. So overall, within the consolidation, the bias remains positive, and this stock is likely to head towards its upper boundary, which is 180, 185.
Okay, keep an eye out on those levels for Indus Stars. Let's move on to stock number 5 for today, and that is Tata Chemicals. Harsh, why is this one in focus? What is keeping the stock abuzz today?
Well, yes, first off, Vinny, we are seeing that LIC has picked up, or rather increased its stake in Tata Chemicals. 7.1% is what LIC held in Tata Chemicals. They've come out and they've said that they've increased that shareholding from 7.1 to 9.1%. Now, that's definitely a positive, because LIC over the course of the last year or so has increased and decreased its shareholding, but this is probably the highest that we've seen in terms of holding that it has in Tata Chemicals, at least over the last 3 years. So that's one positive coming through. Also, the second piece is that we're seeing China prices for soda ash start to climb a little bit, which is another positive trigger for Tata Chemicals. You can see on the back of both of those, the stock is up 1.5%.
Okay, let's move on and mark the flashes that are coming in on your screen, and that one is on Bharat Forge. Look at the stock price. That has also surged up and come up in trade as well. Now, what has happened is that the JV that is there between Kalyani Rafael gets a missile system order supply deal contract, which is of around 288 crore rupees. So, yes, on the back of this, now this is with Kalyani Rafael Advanced System Private Limited, which is a JV between whom? Kalyani Strategic Systems and the Rafael Advanced System Limited of Israel. Now, these two companies, the JV of that has gotten a 288 crore order, and this is actually from the Indian Ministry of Defence for supply of these missile systems. Order is expected to be executed within a period of 12 months, next 12 months, and on the back of that, we've seen Bharat Forge today is surely picking up some bit of gains, and as of now trading with gains of around 3%.
All right, then we'll move on to Sameet. Sameet, the next counter in focus is Piramal Enterprises. Now, if you look at Piramal Enterprises in the last 6 months, it has given us a gains of some 45%. Is there more steam left to this counter? What are the charts saying?
It looks like, at least if you see, stock recently went into some price-wise correction followed by a time-wise correction. So overall, if you see, it has all the ingredients that any stock which is in trend should have with a longer perspective. Already, as you rightly highlighted, in last 6 months, stock has already given stellar moves from 650 to 1110 now, and the kind of price and volume activity both we are seeing today around its important hurdle of 1115. So that clearly indicates that the stock is likely to confirm its breakout from its recent swing highs. And from here on, 1170 to 1200, these are the next levels to watch out for. So one should continue to maintain its positive bias on this particular counter, and any minor dip probably towards 1100, 1090 would be a good buying opportunity. As a trader, one can keep a strict stop loss around 1060 and go long for a target of 1160 to 1200.
1160 to 1200 is the target that one could keep for Piramal Enterprises. That's the word from Samir. Let's move on to the next one. And Lisa, Man Infra is the stock that is in focus. And why is that so? What's the news for you today?
Man Infra is surging in trade today, and that is after it announced that it will be developing the largest redevelopment in Mumbai western suburbs. Well, the project is located in Goregaon West, and the carpet area of this project, it stands at around 1.7 million square feet of around 10 acres, and this project has a potential to generate around 4,000 crore in the next 5 years. And with this latest addition, the portfolio has increased from 4.6 million square feet to 6.3 million square feet of carpet area. Well, the stock has surged around 7% today, but even in the last 1 month, the stock is up around 21%. In the last 6 months, it's up 19%, and YTD basis also the stock is it gave a return of around 96%, and the reason for this is that that Man Infra has consistently worked on improving its debt, and it turned net cash positive in June 23 as well. Also, it has maintained an ROE as well as ROC of around 25%. So that's on Man Infra surging in trade today on the back of these reasons.
Lisa, thank you for that. But speaking of Man Infra, we have Manan P. Shah, who's the Managing Director of Man Infra Construction, who's touching upon the outlook for the company. And he also says that the company's EBITDA has always been better than the industry standards. Let's listen into what he had to say.
The margins for our company usually looks much higher. The EBITDA has always been better compared to the normal industry standards, and it will always be because everything is consolidated and more or less under the same umbrella as well. We are not wanting to invest much capex into buying of land. We usually invest the money to start the project. So in redevelopment, usually what happens is when we invest the money, it usually goes immediately into starting of the project. 20-25% is what we are seeing an annual run rate growth happening, and since the projects have been contributing 25% and above, and the company's growth also I anticipate it to be nearly around 25% as well.
Let's move on and talk about the next stock, that is CCL Products. This one is in focus because actually the company has actually witnessed a breakdown in one of its key equipments, and that is in the Yangon Coffee Company, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of the company in Vietnam. And now the company has highlighted that this will impact the company's consolidated profits in the range of around 6 to 10%. However, the damage of the equipment and the loss of the profits are covered by insurance. The exact impact and the losses is something they said that they will implement over a course of period of time once there is a normalization on operations. All that will be updated by the company, but today because of the breakdown in equipment and the possibility of a impact that could be seen in terms of the profits of the company as well, we are seeing that the stock price is down, recovered from the day's lowest point, but still down almost 2% in trade as of now.
All right, moving on then, Sameet, the next counter in focus is Federal Bank. Tell us what are your charts reading? Why is this particular counter in focus?
This has been one of the rank outperformers, within the banking space, specifically, mid-cap private banking space. Stock has been given, consistent moves since last many months now. Recently, after a long pause, the stock managed to surpass its recent hurdle of 135 with sizable volume. So that clearly, confirms the bullish flag pattern breakout. And since last 3 days, we are seeing good traction in this counter. So it's on the verge of breaking out from its multi-month highs. So 144, 145 we are seeing as a immediate hurdle, and the stock is poised for giving a breakout beyond those important levels. So from here on, we expect continuation of this move, wherein in the near term the stock can head towards 152, 155. But if you have to take slightly broader view, will not be surprised to see the stock even heading towards the 170 mark.
All right, that was Federal Bank. But moving on to the other stock which is buzzing in trade today, and that is BHEL, Bharat Electronics. Now, this state-owned defense company has received new defense and non-defense orders worth 3,289 crores during July to date. And, with these orders, BHEL has received a total of 11,380 crores in the current financial year. And on the back of that, the stock is surging 1.7% in trade today.
Okay, let's move on to the next stock, and Minda Corp. Sameet, what are the charts indicating for this one? We've already seen a 60+% return in the last 6 months from 200 levels to 324. Is it time to actually start booking profits for this one, or would you still suggest a buy?
Aggressive traders can buy, considering its overall price action in last 4 to 5 months. But conservative traders should avoid this counter. Those who have been holding it continue to hold on, keep a revised stop loss around 300, and if one has a aggressive risk appetite, can be bought at current level. Stop loss would be 310, and once the stock surpasses 330 and sustains above that, we could see this stock probably surpassing 350 mark in the coming week. So overall, the chart structure looks quite sturdy. It has been maintaining its a series of higher highs, higher lows on the daily time frame chart. And if you see the volume activity, it has been pretty consistent. So we expect this stock to continue its northward move. 350, 360, these are the next levels to watch out for.
All right, moving on then, Harsh, Paytm is another stock that is in focus. Some big block deal coming in there. Do take us through the details of the deal.
Well, yes, Paytm was in focus largely on Friday itself as block deals started to play out, and Financial was the holder which was was selling shares. The average price per share they sold out at was 895. Now, who bought it? Two meaningful, significant buyers. One was Societe Generale, which bought roughly 60 lakh shares at 895, and Morgan Stanley Asia Singapore PT also bought around 40 lakh shares at roughly the same price. We also had other buyers, the likes of Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, BNP, Motilal, Nippon, Adya, as well as Morgan Stanley. Of course, the stock itself down 2% post all of that. It rose, in fact, on Friday, and now it's fallen quite sharply, reversing those gains that it made on Friday. But yes, very margin focused Paytm.
Let's move on, talk about Lakshmi Organics on the chart. Sameet, this one seems like in the last 1 week surely has picked up pace, and today itself the stock is up 7%, 8% as well. What is the view on the charts for Lakshmi Organics now? Where do we see it moving from here on?
It seems that the stock is likely to break out from its long slumber phase. If you look at the overall, magnitude at which this particular stock has managed to traverse its 200-day simple moving average today itself, it appears that the stock is likely to surpass 300 probably this week itself. But overall, if follow-up buying comes, probably this stock can head toward 320, 325 in the near term. So overall, the bias remains positive. A minor dip towards 280, 275 would be a good buying opportunity. And as a trader, one can keep a stop loss around, say, 268. Immediate target 300, 310 with a slightly broader view. 330 clearly seems on card.
All right, moving on then, Lisa, over to you. Indostar Capital Finance. Why is this particular counter in focus today?
Well, Indostar Capital Finance is surging in trade today, and that is because they have divested a portion of their legacy corporate loan book, and they have sold it to Phoenix Asset Construction Company. Well, the book with the stretched dues that amounts to around 915 crore, and the accounts are categorized under stage 2. And this move is part of Indostar's strategy to expand their retail asset books and also to refocus on it. And following the transaction, the share of the retail lending AUM that will rise to around 95% from earlier 85%. So that is why we can see Indostar, it was up around 5% in early morning trade and touched an intraday high of around 183, and it's still trading higher. It's up around 3% as we speak.
Keeping an eye out on that one. Let's move on and talk about all the rice stocks, that is whether a KRBL or LT Foods. Why are they in focus now? India has actually imposed, the government of India has imposed 20% export tax on shipments of parboiled rice. Now this move could affect, could further reduce the shipments from the world's largest exporter and lift the global prices of rices as well. Now obviously, that is what we say and what we understand is that even as companies said that the move will have a minimal impact on the operations, we're seeing some clear pressure coming in on these stocks, whether you see a KRBL that is down and out on trade. LT Foods, yes, trading a bit on the positive side as of now, 3% gains over there. And the government made this announcement on 25th of August on this 20% export duty on parboiled rice. So on the back of that, let's keep an eye out on these rice stocks today, surely in focus today.
All right, moving on then, Sameet, MOIL is another stock that will be in focus today. Now, the stock has already given a return of 50% in the last 6 months. What is the up move that you're seeing? What should one do with this particular counter?
See, this particular stock has a structure, similar to what we discussed for PEL. Overall, if you see in last 2 to 3 months, stock has given stellar move from 160 to 230 now in such a short span. And if we take a glance at the volume activity, yeah, it has been rising continuously. So overall, with a slightly broader view, if we see weekly, monthly chart, stock has already confirmed its massive breakouts, and 245, 248, these are the next targets to watch out for this particular counter. So overall, it's a buy at current level. Stop loss would be around 215, and target to watch out for would be around 248.
All right, moving on then, the other counter in focus is going to be Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, and that is on the back of the fact that the state-owned Kolkata-based warship builder has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Dempo Group, which is a business house of Goa, to launch a collaboration model to build commercial vessels in three premier shipyards of Dempo at Goa and in Bhavnagar. And on the back of this memorandum of understanding, the stock is surging 2.2% in trade today.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. And Sameet, you picked out Tata Teleservices for us. What are charts now indicating for Tata Teleservices? What is the target price that you are keeping an eye out on for this one?
See, this particular stock, did nothing for last, 1.5 years. But again, if you see, the stock has started to move upwards. On the daily chart, we can see a series of higher highs, higher lows. Stock has already surpassed its important moving average. The volume activity has been, rising. So overall, at least in the near term, 100, 105 are the levels to watch out for. And we could see this stock probably heading towards 120, 125 in next couple of months time as well. But as of now, 100, 105, these are the next levels to watch out for. And on the lower side now, 75, 80 has become a very strong base for this counter.
All right, it's time for a quick breather on the show. You don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be back with some more stocks that are in news today.